What's up, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and welcome back to Let's Mess with WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, or as I usually do here on this show, talk about Monday Night Raw for the week. And you might notice, hey, this video's going up on Tuesday. What the hell, Attack Slug? And yeah, this week got kind of messed up, and I actually ended up watching Raw live, which I don't usually do because it's 3 hours, 3+ hours with commercials is too long. Usually I'll watch Raw on Tuesday and film Pixels on Tuesday, and you watch it, being able to fast forward the commercials and fast forward all the recaps and all the bullshit that happens during the course of Raw, and that makes for a much more palatable but still very long TV show. Anyway, wait, who am I? Oh, I guess I'm not playing this. I guess I didn't hit the button to join the match. Alright, well, that's okay, because I'm here to talk about Raw anyway, so I'll let these CPU guys fight as I get my thoughts in order. So, your usual opening authority segment to kick off Monday Night Raw. And honestly, it was like watching an infomercial for SummerSlam. It was like, and all these and more. Like, it was... I have an idea. How about for Monday Night Raw, you start the show with a motherfucking wrestling match, because you're a wrestling show. These 20-minute promo segments that start the show off are the worst, and it seems like it's every week. So, not much got accomplished there outside of saying, hey, SummerSlam, you should watch it. But that went right into a tag match, Orton, Cesaro versus Sheamus and Owens. It was an alright match. They have announced that Sheamus and Orton are fighting again at SummerSlam, but they had not announced if Owens and Cesaro are going to fight. So perhaps I'll either announce it on SmackDown or just not have that as a match because the card's already too stacked. It's 4 hours of show you got to fill up or whatever else. And thankfully they have not announced any kind of a musical guest yet, because I always hate that shit. Always. Yeah, so, that match was alright. There was a weird little botch there where Cesaro got, like, caught up on the top rope or something, and that was kind of just weird. But the faces won and celebrated and whatever else. And honestly, I don't really care to watch Sheamus fight Randy Orton again. And what in the hell... I don't know what's going on there with, like, the briefcase, or, like, what is this cutscene happening here? Like, what was that? What even was that? That was so weird. Moving on. We had Reigns versus Harper was the next match here, and, Ambrose on commentary. I don't know why Ambrose had to have his hair all wet to be on commentary. He wasn't going to be in a match, so why are you so wet? And then Bray Wyatt at ringside, and some stuff going on there, but, whatever. That match was not particularly great. I think those guys are capable of better, but, it's a Raw match to build for a tag match on a pay-per-view, and all those guys are solidly stuck in the mid-card, and not really going anywhere anytime soon, it looks like. However, there have been rumblings of a possible Ambrose heel turn at SummerSlam, or, perhaps the one after that. Night of Champions is September? I don't know. But the only justification that you would have for an Ambrose heel turn is when you're giving John Cena the belt back and you need to feed him a bunch of heels. Like, who else do you have, like, besides Sheamus, who's even, Sheamus, Rollins. Who else is even up on that level that you can just kind of feed him, his 2 or 3 month programs to fight for the world title. So if you wanted to put Ambrose in that mix as a heel, that'd make sense. But last ride. But, that's kind of neither here nor there, I guess. Because they certainly haven't been teasing it. So, there was some Divas action going on. Tamina versus Becky. You've got how many Divas in this Revolution, and you really have to put Tamina in a singles match? she's got, like, no coordination. She's been there for how many years? Like, I've seen so many other divas actually improve, and Tamina, kind of like Rosa Mendez, just not ever gonna get any better, I don't think. Like, and you like, all that training, like, what is she doing? Anyway, not to harp on her too much, that match was whatever it was, and Becky won. No. Who won that match? Yeah, but Becky Lynch won that match. She made her tap out, right? No. I'm thinking of the other match. I'm thinking of Nikki versus Sasha. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know who won that match, and that's kind of indicative of perhaps how much I actually care about that match, or any match involving Tamina. My apologies. Feel free to correct me on who won that match. But if Tamina won, what are you doing? Anyway, that moves on to Mark Henry fighting Rusev for the third week in a row. Third week in a row. Where Rusev pretty much, runs through Mark Henry, or whatever the match was, because that match obviously didn't matter. Once again, you had Lana on commentary for no reason. Like, she has no reason to be out there. Point blank. That is some heel shit on her part. But finished the match, finished the segment, and I guess we got tricked from last week when Lana said that Dolph Ziggler was not going to be back until after SummerSlam, because he is in fact back before SummerSlam. We get Titus O'Neil beating Undertaker. Wow, okay. We get a returning Dolph Ziggler doing what he does, being the show-off, and that books us into you would expect a mixed tag match. You are not going to get a mixed tag match, because it is Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev 1-on-1. We did see Lana bust out a karate kick to Summer Rae's head. That was hilarious. That was impressive considering she's in a fucking miniskirt. Like, holy shit. But yeah, no mixed tag match. So perhaps, with the one after that at, whatever in September. I don't know. That moves on to Ryback versus The Miz. Which is a match I could not care any less about. This whole triple threat IC thing is, like, fallen by the wayside so badly. And with Cena being the US champ and being involved in the world title picture, it feels like their secondary belts are once again pretty much meaningless. As much as they want to give those belts meaning, it's just not working right now. And, you have Big Show on commentary and whatever else, blah, blah, blah. I'd seen in an interview where even Big Show admitted that he's been on TV too much, so he agreed. Perhaps use him a little less would be nice, but that's, it's his career, not mine, so do what you want. And that moves on to the contract signing in perhaps the most shocking event of Raw of the night. Yeah, sure, I'll watch this match. Of Raw of the night, the most shocking thing is there was a contract signing and nobody got punched. No tables got flipped. Nothing happened. Seth Rollins came out and cut a promo. John Cena came out and cut a promo, signed a contract, and then he left. Like, what kind of wrestling contract signing was that? When there is no physicality and no altercation. Perhaps John Cena is not cleared for altercations until SummerSlam. I don't actually know. That's this Sunday, so I certainly hope he's ready to fight in a match on Sunday. So, after that was the tag team match. It was all 4 teams involved in a 8-man, because the team stuff obviously is on Sunday, so it was 4 versus 4. The kind of the faces and the heels. The New Day continues to be fantastic. I am a big fan of the work they are currently doing, even when they are somehow working in 2 Live Crew references to their backstage Fallout stuff, and that's not PG. If you actually go back and listen to those original songs from 2 Live Crew, that is the exact opposite of PG. It's 2 Live's Crew fault that we have explicit lyric warnings on cassettes, CDs, and that's their fault. The whole explicit warning, explicit lyrics, that's 2 Live Crew, 100%. But, you know, that's a piece of history. Anyway, enough of the history lesson. You know, it was an alright enough tag match. I don't know that they've said if Big E and Kofi are the guys who are going to be in that match, or if they're going to have in Xavier, or if it's just going to be a lot of shenanigans outside of the ring with Xavier and El Torito. But I want to say one of the Lucha Dragons got the pinfall there, but honestly it doesn't really matter, because that is going to be a chaotic match, and hopefully it'll be fun, because I think all those teams are pretty talented. So, speaking of watching Nikki Bella here, the next match was Nikki Bella versus Sasha Banks, which I'm pretty sure went through a commercial break. So, as I've been saying for a few weeks now, their whole goal of the Divas Revolution was to get more matches on the show, and to get longer matches on the show, and to treat the matches as, you know, like you treat the matches with the guys, have them be equal, and that's fine. So it feels like you've accomplished that, so I'm not sure what you are still aiming for in your Revolution, but my complaint has been that there's been no forward momentum to who is the next number 1 contender for the Divas title, and it feels like they're doing that. They're waiting on that because they want to have Nikki beat AJ's record for most consecutive days as Divas champion, and that's because they're petty and they're still mad at CM Punk. So, I'm hoping that having Sasha tap out the current Divas champion is going to lead into that direction, perhaps after SummerSlam. Like, sow the seeds during the match at SummerSlam, and then have her be the next number 1 contender, Nikki versus Sasha, at the next pay-per-view. That is what I'm hoping. I don't know what team is going to win that match. It is 3 Diva teams with 3 Divas, and it's elimination. But is it individual? Like, is it Survivor Series elimination, or is it entire team elimination? Like, they didn't really clarify that, so I'm not really sure. And that's going to kind of dictate how long that match is. If they got to actually eliminate, you know, 8 other girls, 1 in a row. But that's going to move on to a very disappointing main event, which was the hometown boy Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman, who was doing his usual superb promo work. Just, you know, the best in the business right now, bar none. There's no other option. There's nobody better right now than Paul Heyman. And then Brock comes out and, you know, does his little dancing around and whatever else. And then we get the bell for Taker, and then he's not there. And then we get the bell for Taker again, and then he is there. And then he like, they're in his hometown, right? So they're gonna boo Taker anyway. And it doesn't matter face heel. You're in a guy's hometown. It's just like sports, you know, that crowd's gonna cheer for the hometown guy, which they were. So it makes sense for Taker to go for the low blow, because, you know, he's gonna get booed anyway. So he gives him the low blow, they boo him, he gives him the tombstone. His head was so far above the ground in that tombstone, which, you know, obviously you don't want Brock to get hurt, but at the same time it looked, you know, pretty weak. And that was it. Then Taker walks away, does the arm raise thing, and like, that was the main event. Like, to me, the pull-apart brawl was a fantastic segment a month ago. Excuse me. The pull-apart brawl was a fantastic segment a month ago. This is supposed to sell you on SummerSlam, and it was like the weakest. Outside of the promo, it was the weakest shit ever. Like, that was just, the interaction was fucking pitiful. They should have had this segment a month ago, and have the pull-apart brawl last night on Raw, and that would have sold a lot more people on the concept of, okay, I need to fucking buy SummerSlam. I need to give you my $9.99 for SummerSlam, because that pull-apart brawl, I'm gonna kill you, you're gonna have to, was fantastic. And they've kind of squandered it since then, because it's 2 part-time guys in a major feud going into a 4-hour pay-per-view. Now, obviously, I have many, many more thoughts on all of these individual feuds, and that will be in my SummerSlam predictions video sometime Friday evening. So stay tuned for that video, and stay tuned for more videos. My voice is almost back to normal, I hope. And I'm Attack Slug. This has been Let's Mess With 2K15 Universe Mode and talking about Raw. And I'll see you next time, right here on this channel. And I'm out.